Hi, welcome to Shri Management Channel. Today we are going to talk about annual information statement, which is the most important document which one need to verify before we think about filing income tax returns. Most often we start filing income tax returns by looking at any other statements like Form 16 or any other data, but we tend to ignore this statement. And then once we submit the ITR returns, we often get tax notices because the income tax department tends to compare the data of this annual information statement with our tax return, and they may send notices. And we might be wondering from where this information is coming from. This annual information statement is nothing new, but it's a comprehensive version of Form 26 AS. This is going to show a lot of different information, let's say TDS information or the information regarding high value transactions, significant financial transactions, so on and so forth. It is imperative that we would need to check the statement and give feedback to the tax department in case if we find anything incorrect. Let's quickly see how to do that. I would definitely say this is quite easy to follow, and you can do it on your own once you go through this information. Of course, if you find this information quite useful, do hit a subscribe button and like this video. Let's deep dive.
So once you log into the income tax portal, click on AIS. So AIS stands for Annual Information Statement. Here, when you see this pop up, here is the navigation to the Annual Information Statement. Click on Proceed. It will take you to a different page where you would see what exactly the Annual Information Statement contains. And then also it has two sections. One is regarding the Annual Information Statement and one is regarding the taxpayer information summary. So this is quite exhaustively built by income tax portal, and this has comprehensive information which is almost similar and even beyond Form 26 AS. So the annual information statement is pretty important to check before you are really filing the income tax returns, because this is the reference statement which the tax authorities would use in order to compare your income statement returns, whatever you filed, with the actual flow of the income. So I would suggest that you always validate it. Here, click on AIS. This has two sections, as I was mentioning. One is the taxpayer information summary and the annual information statement. Our focus is on the annual information statement. However, I would request that you focus on this part B, which has the TDS and TCS information, the information regarding financial transactions. So this is a statement of financial information. It has captured from various sources, like in case if you have invested in mutual funds, it will have dividend information. If you have selling some stocks and trading, then you would have some securities relevant information as well. And then all the other information like credit card bills, whatever we paid, and also the property tax relevant information and so on. So it is important that we check what is the information which is represented in this portal and validate if that really belongs to us. So the step one here is to open this navigation down, and it will take us to the specific line item level details. Once you scroll towards your right, you would see an option to give feedback. So here there is only one entry, so there is no need of this filter. But in case if you have more number of items here, click on this filter. This is most user friendly. So under the feedback section, you could choose if there were any things which there you need to give feedback. Here I see only optional, but in case if there were some expectation from the income tax department that you need to answer, it will be shown as expected as well. So the expected option is something which you need to mandatorily answer, whereas in case of optional items, it is okay to just check and leave it, or if you're really interested, you can provide feedback. And then in case of status, there is active and inactive. I would filter it on active so that only active things would apply. And then the date range, or you can directly select from the quarter so that you can select only quarterly transactions. This is quite friendly. This one with the arrow marks. If you click on this, it will create a pop-up in such a way that you would get only this specific transaction and full screen so that it is easy that you could verify it. and click on this feedback icon here. In case if it is optional, expected, or whatever it is, click on that to see if this transaction is pertaining to your data, and give the specific feedback. If the information is correct, the income is not taxable, then you can say that, hey, this income is not taxable, so that you can ignore it while filing your ITR return. And even similarly, tax authorities would verify it from this data you provided. If the information is not fully correct, you can say this information is not fully correct, and you can give your reasons, saying that what is exactly the amount which you think that shall be the right one from the data you have. Or you can also give the information related to PAN card or year. This option would give you an option to select to which PAN card it belongs to. Sometimes, in case if this doesn't belong to you because the investment belongs to your spouse or your minor children or anybody else, then you could, because of that, you could give the relation and then mention here that this information doesn't directly belongs to you, but it may belong to the income of your spouse or whoever it is. Depending on the selection you make here, you can say this belongs to the other person, and then you can make the relation because you are a legal entity, or in case of the other relation, you can mention the relation and then you can mention the amount as well. And most important thing you need to see here is that often I saw at least some of these information is duplicate. So you can mention this information is duplicate, and you can contend that so that the income tax department would take corrective action on that entry. For me, this information is correct, so I would just say click on correct and then I would submit it. So this information is given as a feedback, and this will be shown in the activity history as well. You can click on close and then you can come back here. So you would see this information is now information is correct. Yeah, this feedback is registered in the AIS statement. I would request that you would definitely spend some time and then verify your annual information statement before you start filing your income tax returns. That would really help to reduce queries or errors. If you want to correct this feedback, whatever we have just provided, click on the information is correct link. It will take you to the section where you have an option to modify your feedback. So when you click on your modify feedback link, this will open the reasons why you want to do the modification. Here you can select the reason, whether the earlier feedback is done by mistake or if there were incorrect details entered. Sometimes it so happens that would have entered incorrectly while typing it, or in case if the earlier feedback is provided against the wrong information. Let's say that in case if you're comparing a different line and then you missed to give the feedback on the dividend record, but you have given the information like against, let's say, a fixed deposit you have made. So you want to make the correction, or if the feedback is no longer valid. Once you select this information here, you can provide the remarks saying that earlier feedback was incorrectly provided, so I want to provide the recent one. And you can select the information saying that, hey, the information is not fully correct, so I want to give an updated information here, and click on submit, so that once you submit it, the information would be taken and updated in the annual information statement. So that way you can even modify and correct your original feedback. I'm not saving it because that was the valid one I have given.
Hope this information is quite helpful. Let's catch up again in another video. Thank you for watching.